Here we are. It should be okay. It's still a little bit, still just a little bit soft actually. I thought it would go off quicker. I'm pulling on it and it's definitely holding it. But what I might do is just go and put some hinge tape over that area. It's on the underside so no one will see it. Just to make sure, because once it's on it could be a little bit fiddly to get the tape on it, so I'd rather do that now. I'll go and do it.
11 minutes later.
There we are. What I did, I put some, it's called Blender, it's 3M, Scotch 3M type tape, but mine was very thin. I thought it was wider. It's only 1 centimetre wide, so I had to put one strip down, then another strip down. You can see I mucked this end up here, but it holds well. The problem I had when I turned over and went like that, I saw a gap here forming, so the Yoo-hoo pour doesn't seem to dry as quickly or make a good a hinge glue as foam tack, so I'm going to buy some more foam tack. And I put another strip down here. It's a 1 centimetre strip down the middle, and again I mucked up this end. I came out a bit, but no one will notice and it works fine. So that's now going to be glued onto there. Let's see what this other one's like. That should all be done now, so I can release that, take that off. And that's great. There we are. That's on there nicely. I might actually put some tape on here just in case. I'll probably have to do it on all the moving surfaces. So this next bit will be at 4 times the speed, no commentary, just preparing this and this. In fact, I've already cheated, so I've done this side, it's just that bit down there. We're looking good. Let's flip this over. It's almost an aeroplane. What we have to do now is glue these in. Logo's on the outside. Very, very well designed, this bit. You can't actually get these wrong, because the cut here and the hole are in different locations on each part. Because this cut on this side is smaller than this cut, so you can't put them in wrong. They will only go on one side. So that's going to go there, that's going to go there. Might be easier, better view that way maybe. Alright, let's get it done. Be careful if you're doing this not to do that and just slice that piece off. I like using foam glue, like foam tack or Yoo-hoo pour on foam. The instructions say you can use a foam safe CA, which of course you can. I'm just showing you the way I assemble my aircraft. Probably, well, it would be much quicker if you use CA. What we can do now is put the nose on. Now the nose itself, when it joins to the fuselage, is cut at angles, so if you put it on wrong like that, you get a pointy up nose, which is obviously ridiculous. It can only therefore fit one way. The magnet doesn't feel strong, but if I show you this, I just let go of that and it definitely pulls it in. It doesn't feel as though it's well held in. It feels as though that's just a tight foam fit, but there is definitely magnet at play there. See? I quite like that idea. There we go. Okay, no wiring to do inside here. It's got a receiver stuck up here at the front. It's got a 6-channel receiver in it, but you only need a 4. But of course this is a bind and fly. This is an AR636B AS3X receiver. 6-channel sports receiver. A couple of things to note. This long cable that's not plugged into anything is actually your bind button or bind channel. So you actually have to push a bind plug into here. Something I have noticed, and I don't know why, but the throttle is not plugged into the receiver. It's just sitting here. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's a safety thing that they're doing. You have to consciously put it in yourself. The steering servo is in amongst the wires. I can show you that. Coming into focus, there's the steering tiller arm. And the wires are there, but they're so loose they're not going to get in the way. There's the receiver, by the way, tucked in there. This has to go. Don't like EC3s. I think I might have a converter. Here's one I prepared earlier. In fact, I didn't prepare it at all. I purchased it from eBay. So this and this go in there. Tight fit. And there's your XT60. Lovely, lovely. I can tuck in there. This throttle. Really weird how it's not actually plugged in, and I don't know why. I can't think of why the throttle is not plugged in. I'll have to go back to my unboxing video to see if that was the case back then, or if something has happened. Let's do that. Plug that in. That's it. Job done. It's in. And there's my bind cable. And here's my bind plug. Comes with the aircraft. Put that in there, ready to bind. Now this is, as I said, a bind and fly, safe AS3X selectable. There's a couple of bind sequences on this one depending whether you want safe available to you or not. If you want safe available to you, you put the bind plug in, connect your battery, then you remove the bind plug, then you bind. Now that's different to a normal bind. Okay, a normal bind will switch safe off, and that is install your plug, power up the receiver, do your bind, then remove the plug. Now that's a normal bind. So if you do a normal bind, safe will not function on this aeroplane. Oh, something I have noticed. This receiver has a great big long dirty aerial coming out here. I'm seriously thinking of drilling a tiny hole through this foam. Actually, it's not, yeah, foam, just on the edge there. Right the way down out the other side, down the bottom here, and threading that aerial through so it sticks out of the foam. Just down there. Because at the moment, it's sort of looped around, and it's just lying in there. It comes along and loops around. we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But that's got the bind plug in anyway. We'll leave that in there like that. We don't need it. We can pop this back in at the moment, and there it is. We're going to measure CFG back from this point where it meets the fuselage, back 86, 87, 88, something like that. Mark it here with a tiny little dot. Then I like to come out, because I've got great big heavy hands, and I like to come out a bit so I can feel under the wing for the actual mark I put in.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Here's my CFG marking. One here and one here. I've literally measured from the wing root right the way back. I went for about 86, 87 because I'm given plus 1 or 2 millimeters for error, or inaccuracy I should say. And then all I've done is I've come out parallel at 90 degrees to that mark 4 centimeters. And same here, I've measured it back about 86, 87, 4 centimeters out. This is millimeters, 86, 87 millimeters. And then measured 4 centimeters out and put my mark there as well. These are now dry. What I can do is come down here, clip that off, and there's just a little nub of the cocktail stick now. So when I want to, I can just do this to feel for the CFG. And of course at the moment it's way tail heavy. Let's keep it on its back. Best place to have the aircraft while you're working on the underside. So we know that goes in, it's going into the top, I've decided, not the middle. And it's short, because if I connect that now, you will have down elevator. So I've got to twist this out a bit. And the best way of doing that is hold the rod and just twist the clevis. Let's try that. It's still short. Now it might be these servo horns are centered, because I've got it straight here. I still might have to come back here and change this. Right, now that, if I do half a turn back, that could be okay. No, I'll do half a turn forward. In fact, I want to do another half turn forward. That's probably it. Alright, let's do this. Make sure that we do not. It just doesn't go in well. Okay, it's still slightly down. Oh, I've got to be so gentle with them. So I'm going to do that. Another turn. This time it's going from this side in. That's good. Then we get this piece of tape, piece of fuel tubing over there. Keep it in place. So what I've done with those horns, or the push rod, is make the elevator level with the fixed part of the tailplane, because this is quite thick here. So they look, eyeballing them, they look okay. Right, so they're linked, steering's on, CFG marked. So when I take it off, it's not going to affect the foam. There we are. That's not going anywhere. Put that over the screw. Okay, that's good. turn this around. Good.